Our daily verse, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5 to 7. You who are younger must accept the authority of the elders, and all of you dress yourselves in humility as you relate to one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So humble yourselves under the mighty power of God, and at the right time He will lift you up in honor. Give all worries and cares to God, for He cares about you. It is difficult for a proud person to submit to authority. Pride prevents submission because the proud person thinks so highly of himself that he believes he should never have to submit to proper authority. He should never have to suffer the indignity and inconvenience of submission. The trouble with this attitude, however, is that it incurs the opposition of God. There is a reason that the expression pride goes before a fool, based on Proverbs, is commonly used. It's because it happens to open pride seems to be an attitude that spurs God on to active opposition to the prideful person. But why? You might ask, why does God care so much about the attitude of the proud? The reason is that God is the sovereign ruler of heaven and earth. Part of His role is effectuated through His properly designated authorities in the various social institutions. He has established the proud person challenge the chain of command in effect, and he is opposing God's sovereign role, and God does not sit idly, but rather He opposes the proud. Sooner or later there will be an accounting. Sooner or later there will be a fool. Perhaps pride is a factor in your life. Perhaps you worry that submission to authority will not work out well for you. Look, the corrective to this concern, the Apostle Peter tells us, is to cast your cares on God because He cares about you. The corrective is to humble yourself before God instead of fighting against Him. The reward for this torn about in attitude is the exact opposite of what the proud receive. Instead of a fool, there is a lifting up. Instead of disfavor, there is favor at the proper time. Authority will be yours, and you will not have to struggle against God and man to get it. Our daily light on the daily path. Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 9. For you have not as yet come to the resting place and the inheritance which the Lord your God is giving you. Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise and go, for this is no place of rest, because of the uncleanness that brings on destruction, a painful destruction. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 9. So there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 19 to 20. This hope we have as an anchor of the soul, a hope both sure and steadfast, and one which enters within the veil, where Jesus has entered as a forerunner for us, having become a high priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek. John chapter 14 verse 2 to 3. In my Father's house are many dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you, for I go to prepare a place for you. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. May our God bless and protect us always. Let's pray